after all the 7-week-long drama, 44 days, result day is finally here. The battle for 2024. And as Rahul said, more than 64 crore voters have voted in an electorate of 96.8 crores. Phenomenal numbers. And at the end of the day, we will know kaun banega sarkar or kaun banayega sarkar and kaun banega potentially Pradhan Mantri.
This is about 3 V's. Can the Prime Minister's 3V formula work? There's Vikas, which is development, Virasat, which is legacy, and Vishwas, which is belief. That's the connect Prime Minister Modi has with the Indian voter as he chases history. I want to show you what's at stake. Remember, Prime Minister Modi is 2,166 days away from breaking Indira Gandhi's record. That's little more than 5 years. 5 years and 9 months is what he needs. And he's hot on the heels of Pandit Nehru. Remember, piece of trivia, Rajdeep. Pandit Nehru's vote count in the third election came down by 3.06%. The India Today Access My India poll suggests that the vote count today for the BJP could go up 3%. Remember, when Margaret Thatcher or Tony Blair fought that third election, their margins came down, their victory was smaller than in the previous election. Can Prime Minister Modi script international history by becoming the one leader who's able to increase his party's vote count and seat count? We will know in the next few hours.
Very few leaders win 3 successive elections in recent times. Justin Trudeau in Canada is one example. Sheikh Hasina.
Very fractured mandate.
Sheikh Hasina.
Trudeau with a very fractured mandate.
With a fractured mandate, but he is a 3-time successive winner. Most leaders have struggled in recent times to cross at best a 10-year mark. Even in the United States, we've seen sitting incumbent presidents increasingly struggling now to potentially win an election. In the UK in a few weeks from now, the latest exit poll suggests that Rishi Sunak is losing. Look at the United States. Biden is behind in the polls. Sheikh Hasina in the neighborhood has won 4 successive elections, but a huge question mark over the legitimacy of the election. So Narendra Modi could be going...
As we've been hearing from opposition circles, if they decide to contest the results, if they start crying foul, that, democracy has to win. Ultimately, the people have voted, the EVMs will be opened. Agents of the political parties across the spectrum will be standing there. The worst thing that can happen today is a Capitol Hill kind of moment where one party, one formation that ends up on the losing side says, we don't accept the results. That would really be very sad.
Is that, Preeti, possible? Is that what you're hearing? The potential of an Andolan, as is being suggested. There were hints of that if the opposition doesn't win this election, they're going to cry foul and say they do not accept the mandate, election deniability. Is that really possible?
Well, it's already started since yesterday. If you heard, the opposition, Rajdeep, what we are hearing is, if it doesn't go according to what the opposition deems fit, for them they say that they're going to be at the counting, centers. If they see any discrepancy and it doesn't go according to what is lawful counting, is what they're saying, there's going to be a jail bharo andolan. You have the likes of Pappu Yadav who've gone on record to say, "Hum kafan bandh ke ja rahe hain counting center."
All of this...
Yeah, it's bluster. Yes. Bluster.
Just a minute. Let me introduce our panel. Let people know who's where. To my extreme right, T.S. Sudhir, his beard graying by the moment. Welcome from Hyderabad. Nice to have you there.
Thank you.
Early morning, what do we say? Namaskara?
Namaskara. Vanakkam.
Namaskara. Okay, Vanakkam, Namaskara. Rashid Kidwai, all the way from Bhopal, senior journalist. What do you say in Bhopal? Good morning. Kya kehte hai by the lake? What's the word to use?
Suprabhat.
Suprabhat. Okay, Suprabhat. Rahul Verma is a Delhi wala now through and through from the Center for Policy Research. What do we say in Delhi? Ram Ram?
I'm from Lucknow. That's correct.
Originally from Lucknow. So kya kehte hain? Subah Sharma ki chai per.
Namaste.
Namaste and Sharma ki chai. Welcome. But yes, Rashid Kidwai, you wanted to quickly respond.
I'm saying, first of all, this is a sort of exaggerated narrative that the opposition, the combined opposition, India Alliance would protest, verdict doesn't go. We must understand this is the biggest democratic exercise. In democracy, there is a right to peaceful protest also. So a protest is not anti-democracy per se, unless you actually turn violent or you do
But
something.
how do you threaten a protest even before the counting has begun? It's almost as if suggesting...
I think public dialogue is not
What is there to protest about? How does the opposition know what's in the EVMs? Why are they
but I'm saying we have to be judging.
And also, so why have they already decided that they will want to protest? And secondly, why not accept and respect the verdict of the Indian people?
No.
Accept and respect the verdict of the Indian people.
They are saying if there is any wrongdoing, why are we assuming there are going to be wrongdoing?
Where is the wrongdoing? Where is the evidence that's been furnished?
So where is the evidence that they will protest? They are only saying it is subject to wrongdoing.
We are planning it, they've already strategized what they intend to do.
Look, we have seen our democracy. It's a very vibrant democracy. In 1950s, there used to be booth capturing,
because they're casting doubt in the mind of the Indian voter about the fairness of the electoral process. That is what is wrong.
No, that's not true.
Because they're not accepting the verdict fair and square. You should accept the verdict fair and square. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose.
Right to protest is very much part of democracy.
Yeah, sure, but there is one poll point which I think is there. Yesterday, when the CSDS post among their findings was only 28% Indians had full faith in the Election Commission, which is extremely worrying at the moment.
Yes. What do you say to this?
No, just a minute. This was a commission which has high degree of faith over the years. People believe that the Election Commission is neutral. When I saw that number, I don't think it's ever been as low as that. Only 28% believe that the Election Commission is truly neutral as per the CSDS post poll. Is that the worry, and is that what the opposition is trying to play on, the fact that there are people out there who may not trust the election verdict?
So, from public perception data, yes, it is a worrying sign that trust in Election Commission over the years have declined. And what Election Commission now needs to do is, rather than waiting before any sort of discrepancy or question marks come up, they should respond. And yesterday they did that thing when...
They've addressed all the questions that the opposition, from postal ballots to questions about having your counting agents inside the counting center, all those issues have been addressed.
This is not new. For 10 years now, there are leaders in the opposition who've refused to accept the fact that Prime Minister Modi has won fair and square, that he has the trust, respect and credibility of the Indian people, which is why he's been voted to power. These are people who've been in delusion for the last 10 years. And my concern is that will continue even after the results come out, because they're refusing to read the writing on the wall.
Yeah, but Rahul, at the end of the day, I think for us to get at this moment agitated, we should wait to see what happens. I think we should live in the moment. At the moment, the focus should be on the EVMs and the voting and the counting. Most opposition leaders also should appreciate.
But this morning, what's happening at the AICC headquarters? You already have the Karyakartas and cadres there with placards saying EVM pe Vishwas nahi hai. That's not the right.
This is very
that's not the right message.
This is nefarious. To try and cast aspersions and to bring India's esteem down in the eyes of the global world community, which is looking at this election, is very, very unfortunate.
But also because this is going to happen, no matter what you do, because of polarized politics and social media. This is going to become increasingly a problem no matter who wins, and that's why institutions, Election Commission or say CAG or anyone, has to be much more vigilant and much more responsive to public demands.
Yeah.
You have to basically create more trust. That's the only way out. Otherwise, those who are on the opposing side or losing side, they will always raise this question.
And Rahul, just to add on this, you see, and this is not unprecedented. In 2009, we had, the then leader of opposition, L.K. Advani, writing to Election Commission, to President of India against EVM. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao, who is a BJP spokesperson, wrote a book called A Fraud Called EVM.
That time, BJP couldn't get its strategy right.
Don't say that.
And they were crying foul. It's exactly the same.
That is what I'm saying.
Because they were not willing to accept that the Indian voter wasn't voting for them.
I'm saying this is part of our democratic legacy.
It's a loser's lament, Rashid Khilwai. That is what it is.
You can say that. So Mr. Advani was a bad loser, and perhaps the Congress and India would be a bad loser. Let's say that.
And they've not accepted the verdict for the last 10 years. There's a bunch of people who don't seem reconciled to the idea that Prime Minister Modi is winning the hearts, the minds and the trust of the Indian voter. They've been in denial for 10 years now.
Should we focus, should we, before all of this happens, Rahul, what you're saying is absolutely true in terms of that the verdict should be respected. But before that, let's get the verdict. We are on verdict day. Let's enjoy, celebrate the idea that we are going to see over the next few hours as these EVMs come, lots of twists and turns. There will be leaders who expect to win, who will suddenly find that the ground is slipping under their feet. Others who perhaps did not expect to win can suddenly pull off a surprise. What is one of the joys for me at every election is to watch some VVIP candidate who's certain of victory suddenly finding that the numbers are not going his or her way, and vice versa.
That's perverse pleasure, Raj.
Sorry?
That's perverse pleasure.
No, that's not perverse. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, many years ago, there was an election in Madhya Pradesh. And this was 99, I think, when Digvijay Singh and Arjun Singh were face to face on a TV channel. And Arjun Singh had always expected that, he was hoping that in a perverse kind of way, that the Congress wouldn't get the kind of majority that they eventually did, so that someone other than Digvijay Singh might become the chief minister. So there was Digvijay Singh gloating, and there was Arjun Singh looking completely sort of not fully at ease with what the verdict was. So this can happen, politicians can find suddenly they are humbled on this day.